Hi everybody and welcome to this quick tutorial. This part's all about Canvas Studio, but more advanced features. Let's get started. So as you know, if you don't know now, I'm Al-ankar, I'm head of e-learning. If you want to follow me on Twitter, here's my handle, it's coming up right now. It's @Khaled, AL_anchor. So let's go straight over to the screen and let's start having a play and seeing what we can get out of the advanced options of Canvas Studio. So I'm in Canvas and I've jumped straight obviously onto my dashboard. I'm going to go directly onto Studio and create a video. I'm assuming that you've already seen the first one that I created for this. So this is because this is the advanced elements, it's a bit more. I'm going to assume you already know the majority of these. So if I recorded one, clicked on screen capture, open the launcher. And then what happens obviously once the launcher opens, just bear with me a second, I'll pull it over, there you go, cool, so my launcher's there and I can see I want to record this much of my screen. Why have I said this much of my screen? Because I've got a PowerPoint that's going to fit perfectly just in that much of the screen. So obviously I've already marked it out, said this is what I wanted to do and do everything else that I needed to do for it. So I'll click record, I'm going to count in, 3, 2, 1. And straight away I can go straight from that one to my next slide by using my keyboard. Jumping over to a bit of online learning best practice and going on to a slide. Imagine I'm doing what I need to do. So I'm just recording a good space of time right now because I want to be able to edit it and do a bit more with it. So I'll just let it go for another couple more seconds. We will stop it, so let it get to 40. Okay, now that's done. I'm going to click done, and obviously what would normally happen is you will get this window that pops up, but right now obviously I want to add a title, so I can call it PowerPoint. I could give it a description, but this time around, instead of uploading it straight away, I'm going to use the editing tool. So it says edit this recording. What you're then going to see is a lot more tools that you can actually start working with directly from your video recording screen. So what I can do here is I can add some more stuff to that actual video itself. So if I wanted to add any of the tools that are available from this side here, so if I wanted to hide something, I wanted to add a web camera, I wanted to hide the web camera, I wanted to insert something else from a new recording or existing recording, add narration over the top of it. So if you just wanted to record your slides to start off with because you wasn't quite sure what you was going to say with them, or you wanted to sort of narrate it and sort of write it out, then you could do exactly that and have the presentation already pre-done and recorded, and then go back into the editor and then just add narration over the top, which might be a lot easier for some other people doing with this. Overlays is quite an interesting one, so I can add images, I can blur stuff out. So for instance, if you are showing something that's got sensitive information on it, maybe a name or an email address, and you want to blur that out, just blur it out using the blur function. So I'm going to assume that a couple of these things might happen. So outline, same again, so if you want to add an outline of it over something, you can add it directly in using this function here. You've got arrows, highlights, text, you can paste stuff in, and you can obviously add another video in there as well. Replace obviously allows you to freeze frame, you can do freeze frame and replace the video with something else. Speed up, so if you wanted to speed up a certain segment of the video because it was maybe a bit you want to just do it in a faster, you see it quite a lot on videos, so people will just speed something up. Imagine you was given a demo or something and you wanted to do so much of it and then just stop, slow it down and speed it up, whatever you needed to, you could do that with that. You can also add transitions and you can also adjust the audio levels, so obviously if the levels are a bit low and people can't hear you, you can go back to your recording, edit it, and then change the levels of the actual track before you then republish back into Canvas Studio. So I'm going to just go through this one quickly and just have a look and see what it looks like. I can go straight from that one to my next slide by using my keyboard. Jumping over to a bit of online learning best practice and going on to a slide. Imagine I'm doing what I need to do. So I'm just recording a good space of time right now because I want to be able to edit it and do a bit more with it. So I'll just let it go for another. So imagine I wanted to blur this piece out as an example. All I have to do right now is go to the tools and then go on overlay, add a blur, and it'll say, well, what do I want to blur? And all I'll start doing is I start editing and adding the blur to, for instance, stuff that I didn't want to be seen. Obviously then you've got the in and out, so that adds it like a little fade transition, so you can click on that and add it to fade in, and then at the same time, once you're done with that one, the outside of that. So as I'm doing this, can you see how this little sort of marker's changing and editing at the bottom? So if I wanted to add a fade, done with that one. So I can then preview what this bit would actually look like. So if I click on play, it'll just play me that bit. More seconds. So you can add little bits and additional elements to your videos using this editor tool, which is really, really quite handy. You are going to have to play with it, don't get me wrong, and it might be a case of, right, you think that's not enough, I need more, I need less, and you can edit and do more with it within it. So if I say okay with that, so that was how to add a blur. Imagine that I wanted to add an arrow here pointing down at something, for instance. I could just click on the tools, then go to overlays and add an arrow, and then bring that arrow in here. And the same options I've got there, I can add a transition, fade it in, pop it out, do whatever I want to do with that. So it has more stuff on some of the different elements. So if I say I wanted it to pop, and then click done, I wanted to change the colour of it, so I can happen over there and change the colour from whichever one I would choose to. Let's go with a nice blue. You can add shadows to it if you want, fizzy or solid or non, fuzzy, sorry, or solid or non. And change the thickness of it so I can make it a lot thicker as well. You've also got the level of opacity as well, so you can actually make it not as hard, for instance. So if it was going over some text, for instance, and you wanted just to sort of be a bit softer, you can do exactly that by adding that effect to it as well. So if I wanted to play that back, I could see. And then we'll stop it, so let it get to 40. Yeah. So that's how you add arrows, which might be important, obviously with regards to your video editing and what you want to do there. At the same time, you might want to add some text over the top. So exactly the same way, click on tools, on the overlays, text, and here you can then obviously edit this in any way, shape or form. It will say auto size as a default, which is quite a nice little tool. So what that means is that the text will stay a certain size. Obviously I prefer the Futura sort of styling text, or text style or font, but you can write pretty much anything here and it'll show quite easily on anything you want, and that's kind of like a speech bubble. If you didn't want it to be a speech bubble, you just have to tuck that one underneath. Again, you can add background colour, call outs, anything else you need to do with regards to this kind of thing that you'd want. To make it bold, underlined, italics, whereabouts it sits. Anything you would normally get in a word processor, you can actually get in this video editing tool, which I think is really handy. So I say done to that one, and again you can play it and watch it beforehand so it comes up. So it could be a quick note, a quick reminder, or anything else you want at the end. So normally at the end of my videos I put like you can contact us at eLearning, and I'll just leave the email address on screen, which is just something which I use using text. Quite a simple way of doing that. So it's okay, that's text. What else have we got? What other options that we might think may be beneficial? If you want to add music to your video recording, you click on the music button. What I'll do is ask you to choose your audio. So if you've got any audio, you can then choose the audio file and go directly from your machine. So you'll actually have to have the audio file on your machine, and you can add the audio to it. That's a nice little addition. If you wanted to add your web camera on top of this one, you can show the web camera, but this really depends on whether the web camera was actually done when you recorded the footage. So for this example, it wasn't. So that's why you're going to really suffer with regards to the actually having your web camera on screen, unless you actually chose to, when you first set it up, to have the web camera or not. But what you could do if you wanted to is add a new recording it will ask you to start your recording, and if for instance I just said my web camera only, 3, 2, 1, count me in, and then I can talk about this slide and say what I needed to say, and then do whatever I wanted to do, explain a bit more about the theory behind it, explain about why I did it this way. So imagine you was recording yourself doing something and you wanted to add this on top. This functionality is very, very easy just to add quick bit of feedback in there. I'm looking at 2 screens on my camera, so I'm getting a bit confused, and then add it straight on top of that. So if I say, right, I'm happy with that, click done, it will go back, it will say where do you want to insert it. So if I say insert it here, click OK, simply as that. So as soon as that video keyboard changes, and then I can talk about this slide and say what I need to say. You can add a video directly into or in between any of your cuts. So as long as you've got the edits there, that's a really, really beneficial thing to have for inserting new content directly into an old video or a previously done video. You can replace, freeze frame, speed up. So if I want to speed this up slightly, what I can do there is I can then drag. Take it back. So what happens is you get these little markers which goes, right, do you want to speed up all of that? And click yes. So if I wanted to go further or take a bit off, you can do, and then play it back. So this is speeding it up. So let's see what I look like 2 times faster. You see what I'm saying? The audio isn't there, but the video is. So if it was something that was maybe taking a bit longer to do and you think I just need to speed that bit up a bit in your video edit, then you can do quite quickly by adding that little rabbit to the 2 times faster speed. Let's see, you can do 3 times faster, even 4 times faster. So let's see what it looks like at 4 times faster. Whoa. Yeah. So you get the idea.
So if I say right, I'm happy.
Click OK with that one. So I've got my timeline now with all of the additional bits that I wanted to put inside there. I've finished. I'm going to go and click done. What it will then do is say add your description, so I can say whatever I want there, and then click upload. It will take a few minutes to go off to the Canvas server and code, do what it needs to do, but theoretically we will have a video that's in Studio that's actually been edited as well, with an additional video on top. So this is the more advanced elements of Canvas Studio, but equally I think that having the 2 videos separate really go hand in hand, because obviously the first one was rolling at about 13 minutes, 14 minutes, which is quite long for the basics, and the advanced obviously is just a little top up for you guys to go and have a play with and figure out some new stuff that you may be able to put together, which I believe will definitely help the whole video production and distance learning element of the resources that you're creating for your students. So obviously that's already in Studio now, okay? But at the same time, if you open the Recorder app on your machine, you have that saved on your machine locally as well. So if you decide that you want to go and do another edit of it, you can do. What I normally do is I just open a quick recording and do a quick one, and then just close it down, because sometimes people can't really find the application because it's not inside the Windows sort of area. So you know, when you click Windows and you go to the start menu and find it from there, sometimes it's not. So I just do a quick recording for a couple of seconds, or 1 second even, stop it, press done, and it goes to me, right, do you want to upload this to Canvas Studio? Well, I don't, but I don't actually want to use that, so instead I click back to recordings, and it takes me back to my recordings, and you'll be able to find the other recordings that you've done in the actual Studio application. So you'll see other recordings that have been there that you've already put up there and already loaded up to Canvas. So that's just within the recorder. So you'll be able to go there and change and swap and see whatever else it is you need to get on with and sort of sort out and modify. So if I wanted to go back to that video and edit it, I could do. But at the same time, I'm not really interested for that. But at least you know where to go and find any of your studio recordings, because they'll all be recorded on your machine and they'll all stay there. If you want any help trying to find them, you can obviously go start browsing the folders that are on your machine, and it'll go through the data inside the data area will be all the recordings that are normally there. So they're just sat on your recordings inside of your desktop, laptop or PC or whichever you're using. You can manage the recordings and delete them as you wish. So imagine I say I don't really want this one anymore. I can then click delete and delete that one straight out. I can start a new recording as well. So if I wanted to start a new recording there of my screen, again directly from the application you can. So as long as you remember just to click on the record or the plus button and click on either the record screen or record webcam option, then click on the back inside the actual recorder, you'll be able to go back and then edit it and add additional bits and bobs to your recordings that are on there. So this was the advanced elements of Canva Studio. If you do want any more support or anything else, you can contact us. I'm available again on Twitter or LinkedIn or just the college email, anything. But if you want to contact the team, it's elearning@hull-college.ac.uk. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks again and have a great day, and please stay safe.